When LEGO announced the release of the new Harry Potter sorting hat set, I was excited. I mean, I think most people would like to wear the sorting hat to learn which house they belong in. When I heard that the price was going to be around $100 US, I pictured something nearly life-size. However, I then discovered that this set would contain a mere 561 pieces and was barely 10 inches wide at the base, which confused me. $100 for just over 500 pieces is nearly double what this set should cost, and I was worried that LEGO had finally resorted to a LEGO Harry Potter cash grab. But then I looked a little bit closer when official images were revealed, and of course, this set's name is actually the Talking Sorting Hat. And that's not just clever marketing. You see, this set features something that is incredibly rare in a LEGO set. Sound. That's right, this set comes with one of LEGO's rarest features, a sound brick. While light bricks are fairly common in sets such as the motorized lighthouse, the Monkey Kid Ultra Mech, and the red London telephone box, sound bricks are much rarer. In fact, LEGO has only ever released a total of 15 unique sound bricks going back to 1986 in various clever sets. So before anything else, we need to take a minute to understand just how we got here. As I mentioned, the first sound brick started hitting store shelves all the way back in 1986. At this time, LEGO was already an established player in the toy game, but was nowhere near the same size that they are today. In fact, they were actually struggling. Cheap electric toys had begun to flood store shelves at the time, and inanimate plastic bricks were just having a hard time competing. Around this time though, LEGO decided that it was time to try and introduce a little razzle-dazzle to revive the interest in plastic bricks. And so the company rolled out the LEGO Light and Sound system line. This first year saw the release of the first audible LEGO sets, and they came in two lines, City and Space. Down on Earth, we got the Hook and Ladder truck, which came with 106 pieces and cost $20. While that price might not seem like much today, when it's adjusted for inflation, this set would have cost around $56 in today's money for 100 pieces. Yeah, these sound bricks have never been cheap. That year, this same piece appeared in the 77-piece mobile police truck build. What's really cool though is that these bricks made two different sounds that could be selected by rotating the round brick. This allowed the sirens to match both the European and American police vehicles, which is quite neat. Looking to the sky, the classic space theme was another logical choice for sound bricks, but these sets came with a different sound brick. While the rescue vehicles on the ground made classic siren sounds, these space bricks made a series of much more science fiction-y beeps and boops. The most famous of these early space sound sets has got to be the Sonic Robot, also released in 1986. This 103-piece build just oozes classic space vibes, and even includes the fairly rare classic blue spaceman. Over the next few years, we'd get a total of 8 more space sets and 5 more city sets that came with one of these early sound bricks, until they were finally discontinued in 1994, with the Coastal Patrol being amongst the last set to use them. This last year of production also saw the single largest and coolest of these early sets though, the monorail transport base. This 573-piece build came with a range of lights and sounds and sold for a whopping $178, or about $375 in today's money. With only 15 or so sets released over 8 years though, it seems like LEGO never really had really big plans for these sound bricks. Were they designed as a quick gimmick to drum up sales? Possibly. Or did the novelty of a sound brick just eventually wear off? Maybe. Since LEGO has always been tight-lipped about any details, we'll never really know for certain, but we can make some guesses. First of all, the price. An electronic brick takes a lot more effort on LEGO's part in manufacturing than does just a classic plastic one. And I mean, paying the equivalent of more than $50 for 100 bricks is a big ask for consumers. Adding to this though, the public's perception of LEGO at the time was very different than it is right now. While today, LEGO is a truly prestigious company, and countless celebrities and athletes are proud and vocal LEGO fans, that wasn't always the case. Because back in the mid to late 1980s, LEGO was nothing more than just a kid's toy, and an increasingly expensive one at that. Price aside, there's also the issue of function. While these bricks were the same quality as any other LEGO product, they also came with some severe limitations. The biggest hurdle that these early bricks faced was something that we take for granted today: batteries. While nowadays batteries are incredibly compact, long-lasting, and rechargeable, that simply wasn't the case back in the 1980s and 90s. 1930s. Back then, if you wanted light or sound in a LEGO set, you needed to include this behemoth. This massive brick held a single 9-volt battery and had a small button that could be pressed to activate any connected light or sound bricks. The sheer size of this part meant that every build had to make room for this very large block, which led to some incredibly blocky designs. If you look through some of these early sets, you'll see that many of them are just housing for the battery pack with some wheels or wings attached. Additionally, these bricks would then need to be wired into the sound bricks if you wanted them to actually work. This created several possible points of failure, and the results weren't always up to par with LEGO's generally high level of quality. Now, while these battery boxes wouldn't go away entirely for some time, the role of sound in LEGO sets took a back seat for several years. While in the early 2000s we saw a handful of sets using sound bricks, such as the Jackstone Police HQ and the Red Flash Station from 2001, these features weren't really the main selling point of the set. Furthermore, most of these sets were targeting the younger demographic of LEGO fans around the ages of 4 to 6, so adding a little extra in the form of sound made sense. These bricks also came in a few different colors and were considerably smaller than the old battery boxes, making them at least a little bit more versatile. By 2006 though, things were changing, and it looked like sound might be making its way back into mainstream LEGO sets. This year saw the launch of the long-forgotten Revan Rider set from the Creator line. This 360-piece set sold for a modest $20 and came with instructions for 2 motorcycles and included the first of this new style of sound brick. These new bricks no longer needed an external battery pack, as they each carried 3 replaceable small watch batteries. This brought the total size down to only 2x4x2 studs, meaning that these new bricks could be easily slotted into any build without any major design restrictions. Unlike the older bricks though, this one only made a single sound, which was a revving noise, but that's exactly what this set called for. That same year though, this same brick also came in a different set with a few small changes. This gray version came in the amazing 792-piece Monster Dino set and made a great roar when activated. These sets must have sold pretty well because the very next year LEGO put out a new unique version. This time around we got a sound brick with a classic klaxon alarm sound as part of the Agents Turbo Car Chase set. This package came with nearly 500 pieces and sold for only $50, so you can already see how much cheaper these new bricks became. Now moving into 2009, this year saw the next major LEGO sound brick release with the Grand Carousel. I love this set. The brick played a festive tune that would be at home at any fairground and matched perfectly with the build's other electronic features. At just over 3,200 pieces, this is still the single largest LEGO set to ever include a sound brick. Now, despite all the momentum that LEGO sound bricks seemed to have at this time, 2011 would see the last sound bricks in a LEGO set for nearly a decade. This year gave us the unforgettable LEGO Alien Conquest Alien Mothership set, which came with a brick that made a slightly spooky, out-of-this-world sound, as well as the Hillside House Creator build, which honestly may have been my favorite sound brick of this generation. Not only does the doorbell function, but it also includes a barking dog to let everyone know that there's someone at the door. Aside from a few Duplo sets though, LEGO remained conspicuously silent for the next 8 years. However, in 2019, things changed again when LEGO rolled out a brand new element, the light and sound siren. This 2x6x1 brick is completely self-contained, contains both flashing lights and a siren sound, and features a replaceable battery. This piece was only ever released in 4 LEGO City sets in 2019 and 2020, but I hope it's a sign of things to come. And this all brings us back to the Sorting Hat set. This set is the first new LEGO product in 4 years to include a sound brick, and they seemingly pulled out all of the stops. Not only is this brick a new shape, it's a 4x4x1, but it's also the first sound brick in this medium lavender color. While this is purely speculation, I believe that this color is slightly a nod to the pink bricks included in several Brickhead sets, because much like those, this brick is the quote-unquote brain of the Sorting Hat. But what really sets this brick apart from older models is the variety of sounds that it makes. Up until now, each sound brick had only ever had 1 or 2 unique noises. Well, the Sorting Hat can produce an astounding 31 unique combinations of lines, which is honestly pretty crazy. While this is admittedly a very cool feature, I do have to ask myself if a single talking brick is worth $40. I mean, without the sound brick, this set would likely retail for about $60 rather than $100. And for me, it's kinda hard to justify paying that kind of premium for such a novelty. Just for reference, the last major set to include a sound brick, the Hillside House I mentioned earlier, came with 714 pieces and only cost $70 back in 2011. To be fair, that's about $97 today if we adjust for inflation, but but that's still 150 more pieces for about the same money. LEGO is constantly experimenting, and it's safe to assume that this set is a test. If it does well, I would expect to see more sets using these new sound bricks in the coming years. Recent sets like the new R2-D2 could have really benefited from a little sound to help it set it apart from older versions. Imagine all the sound effects that LEGO could add to sets from LEGO Star Wars, Ninjago, and various Speed Champions or Technic supercars. Let me know in the comments if you can think of any LEGO sets that would be particularly cool with a sound brick. However, if LEGO is set on going forward with these new sound bricks, one thing I hope that they can manage to do is improve the sound quality. I mean, I get that there's only so much you can do with a tiny plastic speaker, but if I'm dropping that kind of money on a single brick, I do expect some higher quality audio. Additionally, with regards to the sorting hat specifically, there's a pretty major localization issue. As it stands, the set only speaks English. The Harry Potter books were translated into dozens of languages, and translations are extensive. Of course, LEGO does primarily sell to English-speaking countries, but if talking bricks become more common, LEGO might need to consider adding multi-language audio. Personally, I think the best way to do that would be through a sound brick that can be programmed and controlled through a mobile app. I mean, it's no secret that LEGO is trying to increase the electronic aspect of its products, because the recent Super Mario line is proof enough of that. The Mario figure that these sets are built around might be just the most impressive electric offering that LEGO has released. Sound bricks have certainly resulted in some fun features in LEGO sets. Now, I get tons of messages and comments from all of you sharing incredible research on different LEGO sets, ideas for new videos, and your opinions on all topics related to LEGO. All of that really makes me want to put out more videos and cover new subjects in so much more detail, and that's why I'm launching YouTube memberships to help fund that expansion. But as always, you, the viewer, comes first, so in return I've set up some awesome rewards. When you join the SpitBrix Members Club, you'll get extended cuts of videos, access to SpitBrix videos that are no longer public on YouTube, all of these awesome custom emojis to use in the comments, special Q&As with me, and most importantly, you'll be joining a community about what we all love most, LEGO. All this while directly supporting my channel. It's super easy to join, just click the join button next to the subscribe button to learn more. Thanks for supporting my channel, I really appreciate it.